welcome to the new edition of Magic of Boot. This is the 48th episode. This is Ronnie. I have Shudipta. Very good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Uh, Doing fairly well. It's been heck of a week in terms of work. It's been intensifying. But yeah, good to see some action back after the international break. Um, Football-wise, um, how about you?
I actually had really, how can I say, like a big week. It's not yet done. Like it's
Yeah,
still Friday. Um,
yeah, but
but
Friday comes with some kind of hope.
not really. I have
No?
so many stuff to do. But
Uh,
yeah, like I will have also like my free time as well. So
Yeah, the highlights of the week was played and been fouled so many times. I have a lot of scratches of the stumping of the clits. But otherwise, um, I guess we can start from somewhere in English Premier League.
yeah, it was a derby week actually. Two derbies, uh, actually three or two. Yeah,
Two for the, yeah, exactly.
yeah,
And one was very one-sided, at least.
yeah.
Uh, Now that in comparison of that, where do you want to start? Manchester or London? Like
Let's
North
start.
London?
Let's start from there. Um,
There,
like
Manchester.
from Manchester. Yeah,
Okay, sure. City. Um, how good they are?
it's like a pointless question. We cannot determine. And funny thing is that like there are still new players came in, and they are still adapting. I'm not sure, especially like Gomez
Hmm.
or Alvarez. They are
Hmm.
not getting that much actually game
Minutes.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Palmer is there. He's like always breathing on like Jack Grealish's neck probably. And finally, we don't know how good they are,
Hmm.
like, um, or how good they could be. So um, it's a sort of like a rhetorical question.
Yeah. No. Fair enough. But sometimes they look like unbeatable. Obviously, there has been. Um, I mean, United are not in the best moment, but still quite a decent side. Didn't have a sniff entire game, even though they scored three.
Um, yeah, exactly. It did not actually feel like 6-3 match or something like that, or
It was more,
anywhere near close. Yeah,
yeah,
and there were actually one woodwork and few miss chances. It could have been more, like
yeah. It could have been
7.
easily 10 goals
Yeah,
minimum. And after a certain point of time, I can see City were just taking the pressure out of the gas too. Just went back and just enjoyed.
no, they did not want to run much
Yeah,
at the end. Um, I can understand that because like Champions League match is coming, and after that like the game against Southampton they need to run a lot. Mm. And next week, uh, like the next next weekend they have a match against Arsenal.
yeah.
Um,
Which
so
which is
it
supposed to be a big one. But yeah, I mean, if you're if you're a Man United fan, do you take a huge beating? Obviously, it hurts. Uh, uh, Getting 6-3 down to your rival on the city. But how do you evaluate Man United progress and not progress too?
yeah, there are some how can I say like talks in the air, especially from Manchester side. Like okay, they are doing well. They if they can get City in counter attack or stuff like that. And one thing they did not actually understand or evaluate that like Arsenal is not like Man City or Man City is not Arsenal. Like
Yeah, exactly.
even though they play similarly, and Arsenal
Or
team is
just
like
have a
fairly young,
possession. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
and like with this City side, I guess like three or four of the players they have like multiple league winning experience, and uh, more or less the similar team actually played in the Champions League final.
They're very
So
well-oiled machine, while Arsenal is on its way to be or aspiring to be a well-oiled machine. So there's a difference.
yeah, that difference actually came in, and I saw some um, like argument like why Casemiro is not there. If Casemiro is there, then there wouldn't be that much actually long balls from McTominay, or if like even like ball players like Fernandez and what's his name Ericsson, they actually could not complete a circuit passes of like 3 4 passes in the first 30 35 minutes.
Mhm.
So like it's not like if those players couldn't do it, um
Yeah.
Casemiro wouldn't make actually that much of a difference. And I saw some pundits are like furious about the selections, and but in the end, like we if you are playing, if you have you watched that like second goal of Erling Haaland,
Yeah,
how can you defend this thing? Like it's not possible. How can you defend that pass even?
yeah, exactly.
Like
From De Bruyne.
there are yeah, there are two guys who can actually pass like this. Like who will you stop? The passer or the like the
Finisher.
defense maker? Yeah,
Yeah.
and even there is another thing. Like Foden actually finally got a how can I say like a certificate that like he can do
Score.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's good for him actually. It was his first hat trick, I guess, in Premier League. So, but uh, two players actually was like so phenomenal. Like one is Jack Grealish, second one is Bernardo Silva. We have seen Bernardo Silva playing like this sort of rules.
Mhm.
Like in this match, actually, if anyone is not did not watch, Rodri was a bit injured. Then Gundogan was playing as a pivotal
Yeah.
midfielder, and Grealish and well, all of them are actually switching position, but Bernardo Silva was mainly playing on the left. But like how like it sometimes feels like felt like he was sort of carrying the game, and like De Bruyne was like more sometimes he was becoming sort of like a extra winger in the right, but when he was moving to that side actually, um, Bernardo Silva was covering him and he was controlling the tempo. Normally, like in their team, like all of the three midfielders can control tempo, but what we saw in that match actually, Jack Grealish was on the ball all the time, and like nobody could not even like how can I say like even though they are like fouling him, tackling him, and stuff like that, and like he is like I'm not gonna give the ball, do whatever you want, stuff like that. Actually, he has this sort of attitude, and I remember in the first 2 minutes he had what's his name, the right back from United.
Uh, uh, to Malaysia. No,
No, Malaysia
Malaysia
is
is a
left.
left.
I forgot his name. Wow.
Yeah, me too.
Well,
We can double check it. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So he got him booked in the first 2 minutes, which is actually another issue. Like in first 15 minutes, both of their wing back, fullbacks are booked. So they were like City then started attacking through the wings,
Mm-hmm.
and it was
Dalot.
even though they, yeah, Dalot, yeah, and even though they are not attacking like in the wings, these two players, Bernardo Silva and Grealish, was controlling the tempo so much, like it was unbelievable to see like a winger controlling the tempo of the whole game.
Well, the
So
good thing about City is even wingbacks can do that.
yeah, true. Cancelo actually did. Probably it was. Um, I forgot actually. In the last season, I saw one of this game, but
Yeah,
it was actually brilliant performance for him. Unfortunately, he could not uh, get a goal. Gundogan hit the post once from free kick. It would have been a good goal.
fantastic goal.
Um, yeah, but still, but we can actually talk about Anthony. That goal, it was unbelievable.
Very well finished. Um, Taken very well. I think Anthony, for me, is still. I see him getting fitter and fitter with the game. So hope
Yeah,
hope
he did not even have like a big full season, or there was a problem. Like he was playing every game last season, and
yeah.
at the end of the season, he was sort of like a, how can I say, doing same thing over and over. But it's good. I would say like a fresh change for him.
Hmm.
Um, and finally, actually, someone was talking about like Alvarez and like Anthony and their quality, and they were mentioning like the tackles. I forgot actually who were, probably from ESPN or someone. And finally, they recognized their like the quality of game is happening in the South America. Like why players are performing, can perform, or like in English Premier League or stuff like that, or not performing. So those sort of question.
So somebody just got some sense finally. Uh,
Yeah, exactly. Like in the big matches, he was explaining like that actually. Like in the big matches, there were like so many rough tackles, and big players are stepped up, like had to step up. Otherwise, it's not possible to win
no,
anything in South America.
yeah, you can't.
So
And add that with other things. But yeah, that's one important aspect. And just looking at even Brighton and Albion, um, and how they're doing well, just bringing all the South American talent, and they're building quite a good team, and they've been very successful to stay on Premier League and do well gradually. That's just a proof that
they have like a
very good,
they always
great
hire like
recruit.
a, yeah, like a really good scout. They always hire like a profile other than players, or
Yeah.
they will always go after these sort of things like profile. Sometimes they profiles the players could be underperforming or stuff like that, which is actually good for them. Actually,
Yeah.
they make it work somehow.
Yeah.
Um, Actually, West Ham was doing that actually before David Moyes probably.
Yeah, and
But
the more and more I see it, I think it's a good business strategy. It is risky. You're bringing a totally different, like most of the youngsters here, and then just opening them up. But the cheap option and also some of the quality of players are there. Uh, Anyway, I'm just getting sidetracked. Getting back to
yeah, And also what you were saying before, I want to go back to
The
there. Like,
Alvarez and Anthony's quality and the tackles.
yeah, also Martinez. Martinez was brilliant, but it's not possible for him to actually stop this guy. I guess.
It's
Um, he actually assisted 2 goals.
yeah.
So like already 5 goals
By the way,
involvement.
somebody captured a fantastic picture of Harry Maguire
Ah,
smiling,
okay. Doing
smiling
what?
at dugout.
Okay. Oh, well, they will. I don't know. Yeah, this cult has sort of like a. They always try to find a goat.
Sabotage.
Uh,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
It could be just a moment, or somebody else joking. Must be not to the
yeah.
Uniteds.
He anyway. He's not gonna like play the match. So like he
Yeah.
was injured so far I know. And he was not going to play the match. So like there's no point of j- like not joking around or some
Uh,
stuff like that.
exactly.
But like there was this question like if they should bring Cristiano Ronaldo after like in the first half, end of first half or something like that.
uh, for what?
I don't know.
Have you seen Cristiano Ronaldo today?
No, actually, I did not. I
I
was
I
sleeping
actually
actually.
saw. If you give me permission, I can explain a bit.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Uh, so there was. I don't even know the team they played again. Omni Nicosia or something like that. So they win it.
Ammonia probably.
Armenian Nicosia or something like that. Um, but anyway, coming back to that game, they were trailing and then got back 3-2. Good performance from United to get back. But Ronaldo, somehow he's something happened. He's always in his entire career. I mean, you can question anything but his confidence. He was anyone like overconfident at a time. But now he looks to be someone who doesn't have any confidence in him. Like he missed some. He missed a free kick. Obviously, why I don't know why he still takes a free kick. It's just way over probably. Uh, there was a fairly good chance of in the 18-yard box, and he used to shoot very well. He was very accurate, but it was wayward. In the 6-yard box, it was almost a tap in. He hit the post. The third goal, Rashford scored. It was actually scuffed shot from him. It was going way wider, and somehow it got into Rashford, and obviously it went in. But um, given how Ronaldo is playing, I think there is a certain thing called pace, and he's lacking it. Like he's not that pacey anymore to be to beat that defender for half a second or something. It's going other way around. The defenders are winning it for half a second, and that in the top level that makes all the difference. So I understand
He
he's.
doesn't have the leg anymore. Like I want to add something.
Mhm.
Like even though non-pacey player like slow players can actually make impact, but
Oh yeah,
Ronaldo doesn't have that anymore.
oh, yeah. If you don't have that pace, then you have to find a combination of a position or coming from deep, or be a little bit more creative. But yeah, I mean, Cristiano is not that kind of a player or that profile. Say, for example, we cannot make Cristiano as Andres Iniesta or, or someone else. But at this point, I think he's struggling. It's very evident, and the confidence is not very high too, and that matters to the best of the best. I mean, he's been at least one of the best for how long? time
15,
immemorial, right?
yeah,
Almost
15,
like 20.
17 years, yeah.
Yeah, it's almost unbelievable streak of times, and it's shown that he's struggling definitely. So putting another player doesn't solve anything for Ten Hag. I think Ten Hag understands that, and he's going to stick to his plan to build this team around. You need to take hard slaps in order, some of the hard defeats in order to build. That's part of the process.
Yeah, and also like there are so many, actually too many United pundits in the
Yeah,
media. They need to
exactly.
suck it up. Like, for example, um, like, uh, like
They,
those
and
decisions.
they
Like
all are strong
Ronaldo
characters.
did not actually. Yeah, Ronaldo did not had actually a big. He actually was missing, I guess, for first 2 3 weeks of the pre-season camp, um, and at the time, Anthony Martial, who actually played well in the preseason.
Yeah,
So like original plan of Ten Hag was sort of like that, like Sancho playing in the right and Anthony Martial in the middle and Rashford, and one of them were taken off and Rashford or Martial is staying in the middle and someone is coming out in the left or right or stuff like that. Um, so, but Martial got injured. Um, and I don't see, and Ronaldo was making all sort of noise, and so
offered here and there. Yeah, through the George
yeah,
Mendes.
exactly. So like, I can understand that like why he stick with Martial than Ronaldo, because like he had injury, but he still had good form, and actually, Martial probably scored
Yeah, the first
in
goal, I
this.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did not watch, but I saw like
yeah,
his
snippet.
photo. Yeah. So like he actually needs more. How can I say, like because he, he came through this rank of United, and United has like so many players, and this is another. Uh,
Again, it's a
how can I?
process. You're saying that process. You have to
Yeah,
start
yeah, yeah.
start getting it somewhere.
Yeah, but still, like Ten Hag is missing so many things. For example, they have youngsters like Garnacho or I don't know, like so many of them. But they are not given any sort of chances. Whereas, like if you see Arsenal,
Yeah,
like so many new guys are coming,
thrown in. Yeah,
and like yeah,
and making an
Nketiah is
impact.
playing. Yeah, Nketiah is there like right now, the main striker for Europa League,
Hmm.
and he's started 2 games, scored 2 goals in both of the games.
I think
So,
it's a difference between, obviously, Man United. We're talking about a different animal altogether.
but yeah, if you remember, like Man United, both United and Arsenal, their success is actually like bringing up youngsters and like selling
I
them in
agree.
big.
I agree. But you can do certain things in Arsenal, especially after a period of run. And obviously, Arteta came in, and everybody settled for that. It's a long-term project. But problem is the media and the pundits that you're mentioning in the media, they want instant success in Man United, or they cannot take the defeat that is heavy.
That's why they are lost till like they lost like 1.2 billion euros in like last 10 years. They brought so many players, they are not like useful
Well,
to
I
that
guess
club.
the pundits they're
If you
speaking
have you
everywhere. They can donate
Yeah,
something out of that pocket because they're making money out of it, right?
yeah, exactly. And another thing is that like now like probably Gary Neville started this war against Glazer family. Like he's sort of like a commander in there, um, and they can say like they brought Anthony and stuff like that. Actually, it goes vice versa, and also like there is this cult, like. fans. Like they collected over the years. Like
Don't,
the same cult actually
I
had
don't want to even
Barcelona
talk.
had.
Yeah, I don't want to even start to talk about Gary Neville. I mean, Barcelona. It's a different story. They have a certain way of playing. Manchester United never had a way of playing.
Yeah, but it's still like the cult, Barcelona cult has like a similar impact on
No, no,
the
fair enough, in a different way. But what I'm
yeah, in
saying
a
is,
different way. But
Gary Neville. If you ever hear him, he doesn't talk about football much. He talks about temperament. He talks about tenacity. He talks about running. He doesn't talk about technical aspect of the game.
you know, not much actually. Yeah. But the thing is that like uh, it's not only about Glazer family. It's also about Eric Ten Hag. Sometimes like I guess like for some reason Ten Hag is a little bit. He seems a little bit defensive in United. Like
He doesn't have that
we
confidence yet. I think he knows he doesn't
Yeah,
have that team
I
yet.
think if Ronaldo left in the beginning of the season, then he would have had like this sort of, like for example, there were um, I don't know if you followed that news. Like there were some issues with Granit Xhaka and Arsenal fans, and at the time he was their captain, and
Yeah, I did.
his
I did.
armband was taken and
Yeah,
given it to someone else, probably Aubameyang at the time. So like, so like there were so many issues were outside of the field in
cursed
Arsenal.
armband.
Yeah, actually it was cursed um, after Fabregas left. Yeah. So like yeah, the thing is that like so many things was going on outside, but when Arteta came in, like he actually had a good talk with like Xhaka. If you have seen the
Documentary.
documentary, like
Yeah,
yeah, Xhaka was getting like red card in every big matches.
yeah.
He had like he was so committed, but the positioning of his field, like of him in the field, it was not actually perfect, and there was some like little bit change in the position, and now he is playing like a how can I say, one of the best midfielders in the world. So that sort of things like Arteta could have done because like there are only probably one Arsenal legend in the media, Ian Wright. I haven't seen anyone else.
Theory only, maybe.
So, oh, Thierry Henry, but Thierry Henry is like sort of like Arsenal Barcelona mixed sort of
Yeah,
guy.
no,
So,
you're correct.
well,
Yeah, and
Thierry
everyone
Henry is not
everyone
like,
else started coaching.
and Thierry Henry is not that tribal. So,
Yeah, fair enough. It's not. And theory
um,
always talk about football, not the temperament and running. But
yeah,
coming back to what you're saying is, uh, yeah, it makes a huge difference about putting the trust on the player, having a conversation, and say, hey, just calm down. You're fine. You're secured here. Just look at these things. You're doing something wrong. So we have to change.
there's another thing about this cult. Like, I saw uh, once um, Mourinho fourth. Yeah, this is the fourth time I have seen like Manchester United is back, stuff like that. This sort of, you know, um, if you remember that Di Maria performance against some English club,
Yeah,
there were like a
the lob
short
goals and
period
stuff.
of
Yeah,
time. Yeah,
exactly. It's
love
very
goals.
very
Yeah,
sparky under Louis
yeah.
Van Gaal. But
Van
that's what I'm
Gaal.
talking
So
about.
like
It's the
it's always like they
expectation.
like let me finish. Like they already had this sort of expectation, yeah, like but you have to always have some sort of like a reality check. Like those fans doesn't have reality check, and the club let those fans runs those like like a mob sort of things, and put the club itself in pressure.
It's almost
And
like a Marvel
they
universe.
Yeah, sort of like they are trying to like right now making all sort of movies and stuff like that, and it's like I don't know where it's going. It's so similar to that, like this guy probably Ed something, I forgot. Who was the director of Manchester United. He was like, they are bringing more money always, like even though they're not performing. And the thing, and at the end, what happened that like if you want to bring more money, you are like that much connected to the fan, and that much actually, this balance actually is lost. Like between the fans and the club, club administration, and fans now have like there are mobs like running around, like when Pogba came in, and there are like hashtags Pogback. If you remember, I don't know. Mourinho started winning some trophies, and yeah, we are back again. Ibrahimovic came in. Always there was like someone came from some cult hero came in, and um, they try to make sort of money out of it, and always like it was always like that actually. It's not about football anymore.
No, in a way you're correct. Man United, I guess, is
and
more
it, it
more
and it also
political.
like they played only like 2 3 good games uh in the season. And uh,
It's almost like
these
politics.
club, yeah, these club legends like putting I don't know, so much pressure on this like young team. It's like it's not even like a young
Even
team,
a
it's not
team.
even
That's
team yet. So like they're putting those sort of pressure, they're putting those expectations, like, but yeah, I can understand that, like, okay, yeah, it's a big club, okay. But still it's not that club anymore,
and the
and it's
problem
not your club.
and the problem is also every time I hear any of that team member speaking, it's always about Ferguson did this, Ferguson did that. It's all about Ferguson and when they're playing. It's different football right now. You cannot just compare that 10, 12 years ago or even beyond. You just keep.
Funny thing is that Ferguson, yeah, yeah, they talk about Ferguson, but the problem is that like Ferguson did not have any like a static tactic or some stuff like that. He was evolving like through. Otherwise, he couldn't even win that much actually trophy. It
Yep,
was not like possible. Like 13 league trophies, like Premier League trophies, it's unbelievable.
yep,
But he was evolving throughout the time.
yep.
There weren't any sort of like like a static united team or static vision. There were some ideas like, okay, we will go counter attack, we will do this, we will do that, but it's not like static. Whereas like if you talk about like big clubs and one influential person like Barcelona and Cruyff, like that is another issue. Like he has this certain philosophy, you have to play like this player should move like this. So you have to find coaches like this, players like this, scout like this. It's like a whole lot of process. United is not like this. So like United is just free in a way, to do more,
Yeah,
something
that's
more,
why I'm saying it's a little different cult than Barcelona.
yeah. Yeah, so like they are like free in a way to do so many things, like, but those uh, few
Added
players,
pressure,
they're
the
actually
media
pulling
pressure,
everything,
exactly.
yeah,
Uh,
pulling everything back and try to compare everything always, like with this or other this or this. And they were the one who actually welcomed, they put pressure on United to buy uh, Ronaldo. um Yeah, like
not just
I
Ronaldo,
saw,
Alexis Sanchez too, if you
yeah,
remember.
so many players. They actually put pressure. Like we need big players, big players, big players. They actually say that
Yeah,
actually. So yeah, it's like a I would say if if any they need to actually change. It's like
yeah. It's self check, self reality check. But
self
yeah, I
check.
guess
Yeah,
we're just going too much with the Manchester
Yeah.
derby. We should focus on the other derby
Well,
then.
we actually like talked that much probably because like at one point probably in the beginning of like 2010s that decade like it was a really hot, um, how can I say hot cake actually, yeah, like at the end of Ferguson era and the beginning of this like
It's almost like Soviet
um,
Union here talking about the 90s.
yeah, it's sort of like that actually. um, there was a interview viral of Ferguson is that like he
Recent
was
one?
saying no, it was from 2009.
Okay.
He was saying that like City will never be the favorite in the derby in his lifetime.
Well, you shouldn't have said that.
So like
But
so
can I add one thing?
that
The guys who are not
yeah.
even in the media, they're in Twitter or social media, like Patrice Evra.
No, that's don't go there. There are so many like there are they like this whole like I am a star or stuff like that. This came actually from United uh, players, and those sort of cultures actually is like uh, they're trying to impose it after Ferguson with by buying players, like buying star players like 100 million, 80 million, 90 million,
Mhm, mhm.
and it did not actually work. And now they are blaming those players or those coaches, now families. But you are the one who actually established those sort of stardom, those sort of like cult uh, things,
It's almost like
So
propaganda machine, and the
yeah,
fans always look those players as their heroes, and if they're saying something, that must have a context. But actually, most of them doesn't have any. Um, but yeah, I guess we should move on to.
we talked a lot about this derby. I guess like we from neutral point of view, like we have some sort of expectations from the derby actually like to get more a little bit closer, you know. Um, if it's a 2-1 game, it would be fun to watch, from neutral points of view. But like with United in this their current position, I think it will take a little bit time. And Ten Hag is, I would say, like if all the pressures are off, he would be more bold, like in taking the decisions, and that will get more like good players out of the
Hmm.
academy.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Um, shall we move to the other derby?
Yeah, not London.
Yeah, but you must have felt very good.
Yeah, I kind of felt like the goal is coming,
Hmm.
in the past 4 or 5 minutes, because there was a big gap in everywhere, and if we like, I'm saying about gap, like they we know that they will counter it at Tottenham, but the problem is that like there's lines
Hmm.
between like the two the defenses, like the defense and the midfield. That lines was not actually. Arsenal was so, how can I say, uh, like cheeky to do that actually, because Conte thought that like they will move the ball around like this vertically, but there were some like cross passes and there were some movements from Ben White, which was like crucial. We discussed about our when we discussed like about that like when we discussed about Arsenal, that 2-3-5 attacking formation when they have balls, but there were actually like 2-2-6 at some point when it was six. Spurs did not have any answers actually. and that actually makes made a lot of difference. But another one, like the game was actually in the first half, it was actually close because there were some how can I say uh, good runs from Tottenham players actually. Um, like probably they scored from once. Like
Yeah,
Richarlison held the ball and
yeah.
they got penalty. If
Hmm.
you watched it, so yeah, like Richarlison was trying to do, I guess, like what he was doing, but um, um, Arsenal actually boxed those players like
Hmm. Hmm.
Son and Kane. Like Richarlison was performing well, but
They didn't actually
he was
focus
not
on him.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, I think the game plan was perfect from Arteta, uh, and execution was great from Arsenal. From minute one, there was obviously it will be an intense game, but
and
overall,
nobody crosses Saliba. Even though there are like some long balls, nobody was crossing him. It was unbelievable performance defensively, especially like running back 30, 40 yards. It's like too much, for a defender. But he was faster than most of the time the strikers.
yeah,
So it was good game to watch. Uh,
definitely.
but after the red card, it's like um, there is no point of tackling a player who was tracking back in his own half and like
It's just rush of blood.
going backwards.
Yeah, rush of blood.
Yeah, and that's why like I can understand like why Tite is not uh, picking him even in the squad.
Yep. Uh, yeah, there are some issues, definitely. I don't know what must have been said or done something on the pitch. I could only see that's the only reason.
Yeah, but do you think Tottenham is going to because the quality of the player they have, and are they going to make it to the top four?
It's gonna get very very tight. Um, they need to win some of the game that is like head to head. But
Yeah.
again, they have a very good chance. I mean, Liverpool right now. Um, I mean, yeah, they can do well on certain games, but they cannot do well on certain games too. I can see that as well. So if
Uh, on Sunday, there is a match coming on Arsenal versus Liverpool.
yeah, that's going to be huge, and I think that's for a very long time. Arsenal will be going there as favorite. Uh,
No, Liverpool is coming to Emirates.
that that's what I'm saying. Any game that Liverpool is playing with Arsenal for a long, long time, I would say
Yeah.
this is the first time they're going into this game as favorite. Obviously, it's home game for them, but still, even in home, previously, I don't think there was any match. But now they have, I think, just edged Liverpool in terms of just before the game. I mean, in the game, anything can happen.
Yeah, Liverpool actually started winning after like 2016, I guess, like after Klopp came.
Hmm.
Before that, like Arsenal, like it was sort of a fortress. But what I'm trying to say, like there will, I don't see Liverpool is like creating blocks and letting Arsenal play. And last Champions League match, they played sort of like a 4-2-3-1 formation. But well, if they don't run back actually, or Arsenal can actually make quick counter attack as well with Martinelli in the left and Trent Alexander-Arnold in the
And
right.
and Saka
That
too,
that
right?
side actually. Yeah, yeah, and even that, like, if you remember last season, we talked about that actually. That Martinelli performance in Anfield,
Yeah, we did.
um, it was unbelievable. Like he was
Sometimes
taking on.
it feels unfair that Brazil has so many good players in the same position, right? Martinelli
Yeah, true.
deserves to be there.
True, actually. If any other team, Martinelli would be their like sole,
One of the
like
top star. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. But like even like Gabriel Jesus can play in the in that
yeah,
position.
exactly, exactly. But yeah, coming back to this, I'm not going to preview much, but I think this is the first time Arsenal will be going there without any kind of fear on this game.
True. And they should actually win. Otherwise, like there will be so many talks because like after this game there will be Arsenal versus City.
Yeah, yeah. So no, I think
City
at
game.
this point, I mean Arsenal should snatch it at this point. But
Yeah.
yeah, anything can happen. Were you surprised that Nunes were saying that he doesn't understand anything that Klopp says?
Mm, he seems lost. Like when I saw him actually in the probably this is why he's in the bench. Like he started in the bench. Um, because the initial impact in the first few matches everyone will try to facilitate
Yeah.
that player but to doing so if the team lost their identity they're not going to do that actually they are trying to find their identity with include this player and if you don't understand those sort of things you are a little bit back and that's why like Jota is like a more good option than Nunez. But it's sad for uh, sad to see, and also like if someone is losing confidence, you said about Cristiano Ronaldo, um, losing confidence, it's like a
Especially for
big thing, especially
attackers.
yeah, especially when you are trying to shoot and you are missing shots or you did something really terrible and
Yep.
trying to come back from that. That actually, I think he put too much pressure on himself. Like he was too emotional, too involved in the game. Uh, Um, I guess like that actually. How can I say? That actually had a negative impact.
But yeah, hopefully he still can have the time to adapt. And hopefully he can understand some English very soon.
It's not that actually a tough language, and Uruguayans actually speaks Spanish, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's
So
not that actually.
he was in Portugal. He understands a little bit of Portuguese. I think he's constantly asking others what he say. But that's very normal. I mean, you do have certain coaches.
Yeah, but they also have like Spanish Portuguese attackers like
Yeah,
Jota,
Jota.
Diaz,
Yeah,
Firmino.
yeah,
All of them are like can speak
exactly,
that
exactly.
these two languages. So also like Salah,
Thiago.
Salah is not only the one. Thiago can play. So there are so many players they can actually speak so many like Spanish or Portuguese.
Hmm. No,
Funny how.
I agree. I agree. Um, but yeah, uh, coming back to um, last week, other than those two derbies, any other game that like
Uh,
was
Chelsea game was actually important for Crystal Palace. Palace is like performing well, but um, for some reason, like they are not
and who
getting.
scored? By the way,
Huh?
who scored?
Uh, I
Your man,
guess.
your
Yeah.
Crystal
Arsenal.
Palace, ex Crystal Palace man. Yeah.
um, thing is that like Conor Gallagher
Hmm.
played brilliant game, but problem is that there was this decision with Thiago Silva. If you have you watched that actually?
I didn't watch the game live. I've seen highlights.
So it's not like there was this like 1v1 situation. Crystal Palace was attacking Chelsea,
Hmm.
and I guess it was against Wilfred Zaha. And Zaha and Thiago Silva were like Zaha is attacking and Thiago
Oh
Silva
right,
running back, and
I
he
know
fall.
Handball.
fall, and yeah, and he was like, "Don't you think it's a red card or
It
something
is.
like that?"
It is. Unless you're
But
playing FIFA 22 or 23. Like that glitch happens, right?
yeah, but the thing is that like the referee went too far, but still decided to give um, yellow card. I don't understand that decision actually. Not at all. Like it's not in my like logic or common sense. Like if you are like we have seen players getting red carded if they are tackling without the ball.
Yeah.
Um,
Or keeper coming out of the box and handling the ball
yeah,
gets red card,
yeah,
right? So
yeah, yeah,
it was red card. Simple.
yeah. It's like I don't understand. And like if Tite is watching that match, he could have actually guessed it or something like that. Like that could have been us
No, no, no.
if
I
he
think he
understand.
would like it and probably take Thiago Silva as a backup fourth keeper.
Could be.
No,
But
but
Crystal
yeah,
Palace is underperforming so far.
exactly.
The thing is that like I love them when they're playing. They are so basic. They are so raw in the game. It's like a and when they fought against City or Arsenal or any other big teams, they fought really well. Um, but still, they did not actually. I hope it will change. But
Yeah,
anyway, Newcastle actually won
Newcastle are
four
very good,
one.
thumping
Yeah,
game actually,
four.
and they're looking so good. I mean, Bruno Gomes has scored one, and I think even
Yeah,
what's his name, the Paraguayan Almiron
Almiron. Yeah,
had a fantastic game. Um,
Almiron scored twice.
yeah, uh,
But what they have right now, they are trying to build a sort of a this will be our base player, and they're trying to build like a team,
team. Yeah.
and then like they have already like 12 13 players
Hmm.
like who's performing well,
Hmm.
but unfortunately they cannot play all of them like because like they're some of them are playing in the same position. So if they can get at least like 15 to 16, they will be
Yep.
in the race for the European spot like always.
Yep.
And like 17 18 regular performance, they will be race for the top four.
No, I totally
So
agree. Who else was playing? I mean, obviously everyone played, but
West Ham won actually against Wolves. um
I've seen that game. I mean, highlights of it. Skamaka scored.
Skamakra was, yeah, finally actually it's about time.
Yeah,
But like I guess like it will take a little bit time for him to
for him and also for David Moyes too.
David Moyes was saying something. If you have you watched that? Actually, he was
No.
saying like we have like 6 7 new players,
Yeah, exactly.
and I have like
He has to adapt.
hard
They
time
have
to,
to adapt.
yeah.
Yeah.
So and they're I guess like last night they also won in the conference league.
Yeah, probably.
So yeah, so like they started winning again. So let's see.
Yeah.
This team actually, uh, how can I say, like 2 3 teams actually outside of this top four race. I would love to watch. Yes, and this team is one of them actually. They have clear and precise philosophy about the game, and um, I guess like Paqueta is a good addition to the team, but he's not like uh, adopted yet.
Yeah, it will.
What?
It will take time, and he needs what I learned about Paqueta. I think he needs another good ball player with him to be effective.
Yeah, that is another problem. Like they have Lanzini, but Lanzini is mainly played in the uh,
Wider, sorry,
um, deeper role. But they play, I guess, for nulls in the middle. I'm not sure. But good. It would be nice to see Lanzini and Paqueta playing because like both of them can
interlink.
good ball players actually. But then actually like the formation or shape will be changed to 4-3-3 or some stuff like that. And David Moyes is not a fan of a
No,
single people.
no.
So
Uh, yeah, you're correct. Any other game?
um, there were some interesting games like Leicester won against Nottingham Forest, and Nottingham Forest still failed to do something else.
I think they've hired a new manager, isn't it? Or they're talking about it.
I'm not sure. Mm, but Liverpool like draw against Brighton, and I watched that actually game for like first 50 minutes, I guess. Like Brighton could have actually scored more goals. They after scoring 2 goals, they were actually giving space to Liverpool, and that's how they came back to the game. But in the end, it was like a really nail-biting, interesting game. And Brighton like putting up this performance in Anfield. It was like this season Anfield is not that actually like fortress anymore.
It's
It
Fortress
doesn't
for
feel
other
that.
side.
Yeah,
Whoever
and
is
probably everyone is like before Liverpool game, everyone is playing like you never walk alone in in their own training field, like Mikel Arteta did. So
that's a joke.
maybe that is the process to win in Anfield.
Maybe they have to change the chant. You may walk alone, and that might change everything.
Probably
Uh,
Liverpool is looking for a miracle. Probably this is the miracle.
you have to twist a bit. Um, Coming back to that, Brighton does employ the what's his name?
I guess they are still in the top four after
Yeah,
7-8 games.
yeah, and I think they're hiring a manager is very good. I like him. I've seen him in Sassuolo. Most of the
Who
good players right now in Serie A is because of him. So
who's
I think Brighton hired a new manager, but I can't remember his name. Frank something. Uh, like the players like Roberto De Jarvi.
oh,
He was the Sassuolo manager that brought this Raspadori, Locatelli to Scamacca to everyone. Yeah. So he knows it was definitely Sassuolo is a small team, and he started with the style. I think Brighton uh, got. I would say I'm very excited actually to see him taking over from Graham Potter.
he, if you remember, right? So probably Brighton versus United game. I was saying like Welbeck was playing well, and he still do. And funny thing is that like Trossard scored a hat trick. It was brilliant. um,
Yeah, it's
but they could have actually like they did not actually if they how can I say like if they did not stop or give those sort of space to Liverpool.
yeah, they didn't kill
And
it
like,
properly.
yeah, yeah, 2 goals in Anfield is not that much actually. Ask Barcelona fans.
No, that's not just Barcelona. I mean, yeah, it's you're giving them a chance to get back. You can't be complicit.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, but
But yeah,
go ahead.
go ahead.
exactly same thing. So no, I thought Brighton kept up where they have left off, and that's very encouraging. They have very good squad, and I think a very good manager. I'd love to see them.
Yeah,
Stand
but
for.
only problem is that the Brighton's squad is not that actually big. Um,
Yeah, I guess
so,
that might
but
change.
there are some good thing is that like there aren't many international players in the squad.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
for them it will be okay, I guess in this season,
yep,
especially World Cup is coming.
yep.
But other than that, I don't actually
No,
haven't seen
I'm good with
any
that.
games.
Oh, are we going to cover the UEFA Champions League a bit?
Uh, Yeah, because like I had a big week, so like I
No,
watched only like
same as
few
me. I just watched
few games, like few
highlights.
matches, like for first 45
But
minutes,
let's
and
talk about some of the big matches that Barcelona versus Inter Milan and Inter win it. Or you know, fantastic goal
I
from
did not actually see that coming.
Çalhanoğlu. Yeah, given that Inter Milan was struggling, right?
Yeah, but this is sort of like a old Barca problem. And like whenever they go in an international break with a good form, after coming back, they're not like it
Not the
takes a
same.
little bit times. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes time.
So
And obviously they have a laundry list of injuries.
yeah,
Uh,
like 7 players are injured.
yeah, and Inter Milan. What is happening right now is Inter Milan is just popped up to the second place, and Barcelona are in third place. I'm not saying that they will be demoted to the Europa League, but that's a possibility.
Like if you see Inter's next match with Barcelona, and then Victoria, then Bayern Munich, and if Bayern Munich win the next match, and which is going to be against Victoria, and they are going to win it, like most likely.
Yeah,
So like in a game against Barcelona, they are not going to drop Muller or any other important players. But in the last game,
yeah,
they
they might
will try
play
to see.
second team.
Yeah, so like that there is this sketch, like Barcelona is going to play like in like against full force Bayern team, and Inter might not, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
So
But then again, you have Simone Inzaghi who collapses every possibilities, right? So let's see.
yeah,
Um,
so like I don't know, like a Camp Nou game will be tough for Inter, um,
yeah,
especially.
I think that will decide almost a lot of things.
But sometimes like I feel like Xavi is sort of like playing fantasy football or I don't know, PlayStation football or trying to play those sort of things. Like his team is so one-dimensional sometimes. Like and they have players like with Gavi Pedri with their feet like they're basically teenagers. They can run anywhere.
Sometimes
And
Rafinha,
this team is so static, like they are just passing around. Like they don't have any sort of creative in the middle sometimes. They try to do it with like Pedri, sometimes with Busquets, sometimes Gavi did that, but still feel like the intensity is not there. The intensity is
it almost felt
missing.
like Luis Enrique's Spain sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. But well, it's the same team basically.
Well, except Lewandowski. Obviously,
Yeah.
Lewandowski helped them with the Liga goal, but again, this time around there's not much creativity. And also, I was
And there is no plan B.
no, I was going to say that they tried with Rafinha versus Di Marco on that right flank for Barcelona to attack. Rafinha didn't have any success with Di Marco. He was so good. Uh, so
No, Dimarco is like like so much in the form. He like Simeone doesn't take a Guzens in the first team
Yeah, no,
anymore.
I totally agree. But
This is one of the
I
like
think
few sport like in,
he
inter
switched
players fight on.
he switched Rafinha to the other side and Dembele to this side. Dembele was giving a little bit of trouble, but Rafinha were good for 5 minutes, and Javi decided to go with someone else. So sometimes Rafinha can be a little bit of one-dimensional because he's just coming inside, right? And he's not.
And he doesn't want to try new things in the game. That's another thing.
And if you try to even shoot, he's not that accurate as well. So not always. So that's definitely an issue. Like if you're not a goal scorer and if you're coming inside, you're like prime Riyad Mahrez even. No, Riyad Mahrez doesn't score many goals nowadays, but he has that intelligence when to release the ball. Sometimes with Rafinha, he just holds in for too long. That's what I think.
And another thing is that like he doesn't have like this one touch passes.
No,
He always take two or three touches, and by the time he was surrounded by at least two three players, and that's it.
yeah, exactly. And then Ansu Fati didn't look as good as he normally does. Uh, and
I think
also
it will take a little bit time. He's not match fit because like he was out for like
a long
18
time,
months, I would
long
say.
time.
Yeah, coming and going. I would say like Ferran Torres is a better choice than Rafinha at this point.
Yeah, yeah,
Because of the link up, he never misses those sort of things,
yeah.
link ups and everything. He always have a relation with like a central midfielder and the wing back who is coming on.
But I guess what I'm trying to
And
say here,
another thing is that like like with Xavi, um, like what I'm going to say, like they always have like a static players
yeah,
positions, and it doesn't have to be that much static. Except for Gabi, like everyone is starting point is the same.
obviously there will be question mark on the refereeing decisions and stuff like that. But I'm not even going there. Before that, you have Lewandowski. You're gonna get a lot of goals, but who else is actually give you goals? What are the alternative options? That is my kind of question in bigger games, not against Mallorca or Osasuna or Real Sociedad. I'm talking about someone who would score against Bayern Munich, Inter Milan,
I guess like 60 to 70% of the goals this seasons were scored by
Lewandowski.
Lewandowski.
Yeah,
Yeah, and Barcelona is so much dependent. Like we have seen that actually, like in 17, 18 that or 18, 19 that season
for Messi.
uh, from Messi. Like he basically pulled Barcelona to the semi-final
Yeah,
of Champions League.
yeah. He almost
Uh,
did final, but yeah,
yeah,
that's
almost.
yeah, that's so you have to
And
find your
there
goal scoring options.
and yeah, and also like there aren't like any set ball specialist or like there are. I haven't seen any goals from set pieces for a while. Maybe one or two,
Mhm.
but it's not like their Barcelona is not like an attacking threat in the set pieces.
No,
So like teams just let the ball runs like anyway towards sidelines, and they just watch Barcelona attack, and that's
even
it.
if you remember last season, obviously Alves is not what 38, 39 almost,
Mm.
but still he was putting some balls that you don't see this Barcelona team at all. Those sort of balls, nobody kind of puts it. Um, I understand, I appreciate Gavi and Pedri, but sometimes you need to put some balls from midfield.
You have to try something differently. Like if
Yeah,
you are doing the same thing over and over in the same matches, it's not going to. At least one match you will get caught. That is the point. And we talked about this Arsenal team in Barcelona, Man City team. They're not actually depending on one source of goals. Like Thomas Partey scored a brilliant goal in that London derby.
Mm.
Barcelona doesn't have a Thomas Partey.
Nope. They well,
Frank
I would
Kessie?
say Frankie's maybe, um, but yeah, he's not getting much chances. And also, I think Frankie's might get chances because they don't have much centre back left who's not injured, right?
He's not going to be a good choice for the
But who
center back.
else will be playing there? Who is there?
Um, well, they have Garcia, Christensen still.
Well, Christensen was
Um,
injured, I guess, last game. He had to be,
really?
yeah. But I
Oh,
don't know how bad it is.
okay.
But again, in defensively, uh, even they have problems. And you have Piqué, but you don't want to depend on Piqué.
This is another thing. They brought probably 11 players, right?
Hmm.
10, 11 players.
Yeah,
It's like a whole new squad.
yeah.
So it will take a little bit more time. So that's what I'm saying. Like
But
in the beginning
what
of the
what I'm
season.
also giving you an example. Nobody from the back, except probably Kunde, have that passing ability that you would have seen from Rafa Marquez or Javier Mascherano or even Carlos Puel and NPK
Actually,
himself.
actually Garcia had.
He didn't really put anything.
Oh,
Didn't really
okay.
put anything. And the other part is I'm really scared about it. Sometimes his decision making. He goes too tight on certain players. Like with Lautaro Martinez, he cannot go tight. He's so clever. He can turn around any side and he can start running. So yeah, that's those are the little things that is worrisome. Obviously, other games, if we may move.
Yeah.
Obviously, Bayern Munich getting a very pleasant victory. Nothing much to talk about. Whereas Borussia Dortmund got 4-1 win versus Sevilla, who sacked their manager finally.
Finally. um, well, it was coming sort of.
Yeah.
Sevilla
They found Jorge Sampaoli to take over. So uh,
again.
again, yeah, that's where it all started for Argentina, right? Because Sampaoli took Lionel Scaloni as his as a video analyst or something. So it all started from there. So this time around, let's see who is coming. Uh, but coming back to Sevilla, Sevilla are pathetic, and Dortmund was all over. Bellingham had a fantastic game. Of course, is it Guerrero scored the first goal? Fantastic goal. Uh,
I actually haven't watched that actually game.
uh, so yeah, I think yeah, Dortmund looks pretty secured. Um, have you watched PSG versus Benfica?
Yeah,
Yeah,
a little bit, like for 5 minutes, I guess.
yeah. Again, Messi have scored. I think this is his 40th opposition to, to score in
Yeah,
Champions League. But yeah, what a goal! You have this holy trinity of players passing around, and only Messi can finish
um,
that.
that is the like problem, like with PSG. Benfica had more clear chances than them
Benfica were actually better team.
in the first half, at least.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, in the second half they played well, but with this sort of consistency, I don't see PSG going deep in the tournament.
No, but they will all depend on the superstars' individual performances, right?
Yeah, but still, you need some base to defend as well.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, and
like
fantastic ball was from Enzo Fernandez, and it was Danilo, unfortunately, own goal. But Benfica could have won, and it would have been still a good result.
Yeah,
Whereas Juventus got some winning. I mean,
finally.
finally, Angel Di Maria had a hat trick of assist, and it was against McCarthy Haifa McCarthy or something like that. But yeah, Juventus doesn't look. I mean, without Angel Di Maria, that doesn't look that great, to be honest. So I don't know where the inspiration is coming from. Uh, who else was playing? Yeah, Napoli thrashed
Um,
Ajax 6-1.
it was like how they performed. It was not actually, how can I say, unbelievable. Um the goalkeeper probably before third or fourth goal, he basically passed the ball towards the opposition uh, in the before the sixth or fifth or fourth goal, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing happened from a midfielder. So if you are giving up balls in your own half, it will be tough to do something. And the goal from Ajax was brilliant, actually. Um,
Yeah.
but after that, they lost completely their way. And there were some like brilliant goal from, I guess, like this guy, their captain, Napoli.
Uh,
Uh,
who's Napoli's captain? Um, yeah,
uh,
the center
Scalio,
center back.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I forgot his name. But it was a brilliant header. Rashpadori, I guess, like he's scoring in every matches probably
Di
these
Lorenzo
days. Di Lorenzo, yes, and Zelensky actually continue his form.
and
So
also
all of the
Varadona.
yeah, yeah, this guy also scored. But like with Napoli now, I guess like will progress. Like if everything goes well for them, they will be the top of the league.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
it
a
depends
very
on
very interesting team at this point. Let's see how they keep doing it. But yeah, felt a little bad for Ajax. The other game was, I think, Liverpool versus was playing
Rangers.
Rangers. It was easy
Yeah,
peasy win.
2-0. Yeah, but I guess there was an important game. Club Brugge made
Atletico
upset, yeah, Atletico, and they are probably sitting in the
top.
top of the.
Yeah, I think they're.
They beat all three teams actually.
And you know who was scoring, right? Jude Lega, who's
Yeah,
the Barcelona
Barcelona.
loanee, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So we were talking about Manchester United not trusting their academy players. What about Barcelona? I mean, not even a backup of Lewandowski. It's a kind of, I don't know. Um, there's no spot, but he's doing so well.
And bringing all those players with Barcelona is like right now like they have like only 10 players from the season before and 10 players new. It's like totally different team
It's almost
and
like
it will take,
wholesale.
yeah, wholesale team. And so many players are like free agent.
Now I know where who is Nottingham Forest was taking inspiration from, and now it
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah, and also like being a team, it's not like performing 2 3 matches well. It's like like when the team will give you a different sort of vibe, like you can see even they are losing, you cannot actually argue about the tactical or like their concepts or stuff like that. Javi hasn't actually cleared it out even like after 1 years almost.
Yeah, obviously. Coming back to Club Brugge and also Atletico Madrid. I mean, what a horrible season it's turning out to be for Diego Simeone. Um,
Well, they turn things around. I don't know if they can, but
it's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy.
yeah.
But let's see what's going to happen. Uh, who else was doing well?
Mhm.
I think.
Chelsea, I guess, like
Yeah, exactly.
home.
But that game was so boring.
Obviously, it's a Chelsea game.
Chelsea game, and also because of Milan had so many injuries.
Yeah, that's why they won actually. Because I was so surprised to see like Chelsea was up like for 1 or 2 goals and like in probably first 60 minutes or 70 minutes, I guess. Like it was before I fall asleep. So like I went in and I saw like that um, this Milan team has so many missing players, and then I understood actually because like they were so much informed, and Milan has this characteristics to stick around, and they actually had to made so many substitutions before they planned. So like they could not actually have this usual have this opportunity to show their usual characteristics.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And Rafael Leao had one or two good moments in the first half, and then totally disappeared. Never was in the game. But still, good win for Graham Potter and Chelsea. I mean, and some of the markings from the Milan team was terrible, especially from set pieces. Like
Yeah, true.
Thiago Silva probably could have scored his own hat trick if he was on target. He was never marked
Yeah,
by anyone. It's like a ghost. But moving on,
but
yeah,
Milan team was like really, what do I say, like a loose or something, loose cannon or something like that. Like they are not even in the, like, what do I say, doing anything to prevent those sort of things.
no,
Like,
it's almost like going through the motion.
yeah, like seeing them in similar to like last season.
Yeah, yeah. But
Real own against
Shakhtar,
Shakhtar, and they
both
actually
Brazilians
took,
scored.
yeah, they already took like 34 shots on the goal, or yeah, around this number actually. I forgot.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, the 36 shots and 14 on the target.
that's a little too much. But again, shows the dominance. Uh, although I'd say that they just had a draw in the home league and then came here and winning it is important. Um, I think that's about it about Champions League. I think so.
Yeah,
Anything else I've missed or you wanna focus on?
not really. I haven't actually seen that much games.
Okay. On that note, then I guess we're good to wrap up.
Yeah,
Okay. Then yeah. If anyone is seeing this, please let us know if you're really interested to let us know that how we can improve or if you can question us on certain topics. We'll be trying to answering that. Other than that, we'll be back in next week.
yeah. See you next week.